Warrior Cat's afterlife. We know so little about it, but at the same time, thanks to Squirrel Flight's hope, we know a lot more than we used to. What we know is that StarClan is a happy little paradise where every cat can play and hunt and sleep and never get sick or hungry until they fade or whatever. But what I really want to talk about is shipping, because we all like to argue about that. What does StarClan mean for Crowfeather's love life? For cats with multiple mates like Graystripe, there's a lot of debate over which cat is deserving of being their final mate in StarClan. And Crowfeather is another great candidate for this discussion because he's loved 3 cats in his life. Feathertail, his first love who changed the way he viewed the world and became an inspiration for his warrior name. LeafPool, the cat he almost abandoned WindClan for and had 3 kits with. And NightCloud, the cat he's lived with for most of his life and raised Breezepelt with. Well, I mean, sort of raised Breezepelt with. We know that in StarClan, cats usually gravitate towards their happiest self, and that can sometimes include choosing a mate that didn't work out during life. Bluestar and Oakheart are happily together in StarClan. So, what would make Crowfeather happy? Would Crowfeather choose a mate, or would he prefer to be alone? And if he did choose a mate, who would he choose? He has 3 options, so let's talk about all of them. NightCloud is not happening. Crowfeather's trial shut down their relationship for good. And it's not a bad thing, it was actually a really sweet message. Sometimes relationships don't work out, and at that point it's best to not force it. Just do what's best for yourselves, and try to sort things out in a way that's respectful to your child. It took all the way to this Super Edition for those 2 to fully realize that. If they got back together in StarClan, it would go against Crowfeather's trial. Not only because they verbally agreed that they don't need to be together, it is also made very clear that Crowfeather never truly loved NightCloud. In his thoughts, he heavily longs for the warm embrace of his relationships with Feathertail and LeafPool, but NightCloud is specifically mentioned to not provide these same feelings. So, Feathertail or LeafPool? Who's closer to Crowfeather's heart? You could totally make an argument for Feathertail with her being his first love and his namesake, but it's LeafPool who has the advantage of time on her side. Feathertail changed Crowfeather's outlook on life when he was young, but it was LeafPool who molded him for a much longer period of time. He broke the code for her, he had kits with her, and he spent the majority of his life longing to be close to her again, constantly aware of her presence just across the border, and occasionally having awkward interactions. LeafPool was the main cat on Crowfeather's mind for much longer than Feathertail was. And I have 2 more things to shut down Feathertail as a possibility. 1. Feathertail is not a full StarClan cat. She spends half of her time in the Tribe of Endless Hunting. After Crowfeather suffered so much from being caught between WindClan and ThunderClan, it would just seem really wrong and unpoetic to throw him in another situation where he can never truly belong in one place. And 2, Feathertail literally gives her blessing for Crowfeather to pursue other cats. In Starlight, she tells LeafPaw to tell Crowfeather that there will be many moons before they meet again, and he cannot be blind to the cats who are around him for all that time. Feathertail is resolved to letting Crowfeather move on. And move on he does. Crowfeather moved on to LeafPool because he loved her enough to get over the death of Feathertail. So, okay, based on all that, LeafPool is clearly the most likely cat to be Crowfeather's mate in StarClan. But I guess the question remains if Crowfeather would even take a mate. If he ends up becoming Crowstar, that places a lot of time between LeafPool's death and Crowfeather's death. So much can change in that time. But I think these 2 will get together in StarClan. And the reason I'm saying this is because Squirrel Flight's hope teases it really hard. There are 2 instances of ship teasing. The first being Crowfeather worrying about her as she disappears into the cave, and the second being Squirrel Flight realizing that Crowfeather loved LeafPool all this time when the clans are mourning her. And there was a lot of ship teasing in Crowfeather's trial too, but the reason it's significant to see it in Squirrel Flight's hope is because this is the Super Edition about StarClan. The Super Edition about LeafPool's death where her code breaking is ruled understandable, and it's the Super Edition that specifically shows Bluestar and Oakheart happily together, despite it being against the code during their life. If those two are making it work in a book that teases Crowfeather longing to be with LeafPool, then I'm pretty sure there's a good chance that Crowfeather and LeafPool will also be getting together. So Leaf Crow shippers rejoice. The only thing we don't know is if LeafPool would even return Crowfeather's love. In her life, she is solidly set on her choice to leave Crowfeather and stay a medicine cat. She shows care to Crowfeather in his Super Edition, but it's the same care she would show to any cat she had a connection with, romantic or not. Like everything in these books, only time will tell if we ever get confirmation of her love, but until then, them getting together in StarClan is my best guess. Crowfeather has had a really rough life. I even wrote a song about it. Let's just hope things work out for him in the end.